Hey, everybody. Hey, I got my little special friend Tugboat right here with me, and he is going to just kind of keep me comfy and cozy while I watch Scream 6 again, which is the lucky movie that I will be reviewing here today. So, yeah. Hey, buddy, you're gonna help me out? Yeah? All right. Well, all right, here he is, and hey, let's get on with the show.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey there, my movie maniacs, my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Welcome on into the latest episode of Movies Merica. Yes, made especially for you. And this episode, we have a Scream 6 episode of Movies Merica. Again, just for you, all right? Custom built, custom made, all right? And as always, I like to start out with just giving you a brief synopsis of what we're talking about here. In this case, Scream 6, okay? And Scream 6, what it does is the big novelty of this movie is that they go to New York City, and it's Sam and Tara from the movie last year, 2022. I think it came out in February of last year. And they moved to New York, and they have their friends Chad and Mindy with them as well. They all moved there from their little town, Woodsboro. And so I believe Tara's going to college, and then Sam is just there to look after her little sister, Tara. And then I think Mindy and Chad are there going to college or something. And they're in this urban setting. They're not in a little town. And I'm sure they're hoping, maybe not thinking, but hoping that Ghostface doesn't make any appearance in New York City because they're nowhere near their town. Now, of course, apparently they didn't watch Scream 3 if they think that, because Ghostface is not restricted to just Woodsboro. Just watch Scream 3. He happens to be able to make it to Hollywood in that one, okay? But so that is the setting for this sixth Scream film. New York City, Ghostface has some bloody, murderous rampage, some kills, that kind of thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a movie here, right? And so that is the premise. That's the basis of what this movie is, what it's based off of. It's not Pride and Prejudice, okay? It's not Crimes and Misdemeanors. It's a very basic premise, okay? Got a killer, and you've got potential victims, and you've got some kills in there, and that's Scream 6 for you in a nutshell. Now, of course, the killer character in these Scream movies is Ghostface, right? And Ghostface, he copies Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movies in going to New York. So in 1989, Jason was in Jason Takes Manhattan, and now we have Scream 6 with Ghostface taking Manhattan or someplace in New York City. They really don't say, at least I don't remember them saying where in New York City, which one of the 5 boroughs they're in. But as far as New York City and them being located there, they could have done a better job at explaining how they ended up there. Because the movie starts out and they're just there. They're just there in New York City. They don't set it up very well. And it's not the biggest thing. I mean, it's not a deal breaker when it comes to watching this movie. But they were just suddenly there. And then once they're there in New York City, they don't really use New York City very well. They should have filmed a few scenes, or at least a couple of scenes, at some New York City landmarks, right? Some New York City locations that everybody knows. The Brooklyn Bridge, Battery Park, Empire State Building, Barclays Center, Times Square, which may have been a little bit too obvious. Just someplace like that. Statue of Liberty. I don't know how they would end up at the Statue of Liberty, but something like that, right? But they just didn't do that. Now, I'm thinking maybe the filmmakers wanted to shoot at a location like that, but being that it's New York City, they probably were afraid they couldn't keep the entire film crew safe, okay? Because the way New York City is going, in like 10 years, the only people that are going to be in New York City are like Snake Plissken and thousands of federal inmates. Melissa Barrera once again plays Sam, the new final girl in these new Scream movies, and she's taken over from the original final girl, which was Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell. And then also you have Sam's co-final girl, for lack of a better way of putting it, Tara, who is Sam's sister. And Tara is played by rising star Jenna Ortega, who was in X, and she's in the Wednesday TV series, I think on Netflix, is where she plays Wednesday Addams and that, and she's in other stuff as well. But she's a rising star. You look up on social media or any of the entertainment sites, and Jenna Ortega is a name. And Melissa Barrera is as well. And so they're the two final girls in this. So we're in the original Scream. There was like one final girl, and that was Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott. Now you get two, okay? And then also another couple of main characters from the new Scream movie franchise that started last year is Chad, and he's played by Mason Gooding, who is actually Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, and then his twin sister, his character's twin sister is Mindy, and she is played by Jasmine Savoy Brown. And now, as we saw and we learned in last year's Scream 5, Chad and Mindy are the nephew and niece of Randy, played by Jamie Kennedy from the original Scream movies. So they're his nephew and niece, and so they have Mindy kind of take over the Randy role in this. And then another returning legacy character is Hayden Panettiere. I'm not sure if I'm saying that last name right, but Hayden Panettiere. We're going to go with that, Hayden Panettiere. She comes back as Kirby Reed, and she was in Scream 4. And last we saw her in that, she was getting stabbed in the gut or around that area of her body, and we didn't know if she died or not. But then when you hear that actually Hayden Panettiere actually had it written in her contract of Scream 4 that her character could not die.
How dare you?
Now, I didn't know that way back when I was watching Scream 4, 11, 15 years ago, something like that. But she is back in Scream 6, and no spoilers, but she plays an FBI agent in this, in Scream 6. And, she's a tough little cookie in this. Keyword little, because even in comparison to, like, Melissa Barrera and a lot of the other characters, she's definitely a little short compared to them right there. But, so you've got all kinds of characters in this, in the killing fields that is New York City this time in Scream 6. Oh, hey there, my movie maniacs, my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Yes, I'd like to ask you again if you would like this video and subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, that ding, 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 that notification bell down there, and that'll make sure that you get alerted when there's a brand new, piping hot, fresh just for you Movies Merica episode ready and waiting for you to check it out, okay? And also, get all cozy up in those comments down below as well, all right? I love to hear from you. Let me know, if you liked Scream 6, did you not like it? What's your favorite part of Scream 6? What's your favorite scene? That kind of thing. Favorite character, all that. And then also, if you have any tips for me in how I do the show, okay? I know I don't do this show perfectly. Who does, right? I could always use improvement, so I'm not above that. So, hey, any constructive criticism, something that you would like me to do. Oh, hey, how about a movie you'd want me to review? Or, an actor or actress that you want me to talk about? Just let your imagination go wild in those comments. So just get on down there and, let me know. Let me know what you think and all that. So, absolutely. And then also, just to let you know, if you go to tdpn.locals.com, that is the Till Death Podcast Network Locals page. Now, why would you want to go there? Well, because we have all kinds of cool videos and articles about the latest news, and in my case, the latest movies, movie news, news about actresses and actors and new movies coming out, that kind of thing. Ian and Sean, they got articles out there about, Sean, his gigs as a bass player, and Ian and Sean both have, articles about the latest stuff, politics, hot button issues, that kind of thing out there, with a unique perspective out there that you're not going to get anywhere else. And I know there's a bunch of news sites and movie sites you can go to. Not like this one, okay? Not like this one, because this is tdpn.locals.com. And we are treading, we are plowing new ground that you haven't seen anywhere else. I guarantee it, all right? But you need to go there to see if I'm lying, all right? And that is tdpn.locals.com. And if you enter in promo code TDPN, as in Till Death Podcast Network, you get 1 free month. 1 free month of all our great stuff, all right? Just sitting there waiting at your fingertips for you to check out, all right? So again, subscribe, notification bell, get in those comments, all right? And let's get on with the rest of this show. The violence and gore in this is much more brutal and bloody than previous Scream movies. Carnage Candy, I believe, is how Randy in Scream 2 put it. And I guess the filmmakers thought that the violence, the gore, and all the other Scream movies was just a little too bubblegum, and they'd be right. The previous movies were really satisfied with being a meta parody of slasher movies in general, and they kept the violence sanitized in a way. It was bloody, or it was insinuated that it was bloody, but it wasn't this hardcore, blood just splashing everywhere, right? It wasn't that kind of violence. Scream 6, it's a little closer to that, okay? Scream 6, they do not keep it all sanitized for the kiddies, okay? In New York, concrete jungle, where bloody dreams are made of, apologies, Jay-Z, okay? They bring the savagery, all right? They bring the blood and the gore, and it starts early, okay? Poor Samara Weaving, all right, early in this movie, all right? Just let me give you a word of advice. Listen, kids, don't ever leave the safety of a crowded restaurant to go into a dark alley, okay? Just free safety tip, just don't do it. Now, you might be asking yourself or telling yourself, man, this guy, he seems pretty ambiguous as far as what he thinks about Scream 6, all right? He's given off ambiguous vibes as far as whether or not he thinks I should go and check out Scream 6. And ambiguity is over with, okay? This movie is just kind of so-so, all right? And the reason that it is, or one reason that it is just the major plot holes that are in this thing, okay? Right after I got out of the movie, I was thinking about it and wait, how did they know? How is there no way that she knew that? Okay, how is there no way that they didn't figure out this? How could that person be there at that time? Just, or how could that person be that strong where they could take out that guy? I mean, plot holes left and right, okay? Along with stale, stilted dialogue, particularly by Dermot Mulroney in one scene in this movie, okay? Or you might know Dermot Mulroney from like a bunch of 80s and 90s movies. And yeah, there is just one scene in one line that he has in this movie that is just terrible. Then there's all kinds of like predictable, played out, lame tropes that you see in movies, like secret sex partners, will they or won't they, romances, stuff like that. Just dingy victims, just them making stupid decisions, that kind of thing. And so it's just, it adds to just a whole list, a Christmas list of what are they thinking kind of moments or thoughts that you have in your head with Scream 6. And I'm not expecting from a Scream movie highly intellectual, maximum cerebral content. I'm not expecting that from a Scream movie. It's supposed to be good bloody fun to enjoy with your friends and your family, or if you're on a date or something like that, hopefully your date's jumping in your lap because it's scary and all that. But you can only put so much lame stuff. I mean, you can only treat the audience so dumb. And I just personally, I couldn't overlook that. Maybe there's plenty of other people that it just won't occur to, or it does, and they just don't care. Ooh, that looked tasty and refreshing. You bet. Hey, it's that time, all right. It's brew review time, as you just saw. And let's get right to it, because this episode's lucky brew is the Three Nations Brewing Cozy Bavarian, which is a German-style Marzen. And here it is. That was my coaster. hitting the ground, hitting the desk. So, yeah, it's a Three Nations Brewing Cozy Bavarian, and it is a German-style Marzen and very malty, which I like. It's good. It's very tasty. And also it has some hints of like black cherries and toffee and a very nutty aroma in it. Keep it clean, guys. All right. So Three Nations Brewing is actually out of here around this area in Carrollton, Texas. And so we're keeping it local here. But, it's a Three Nations Brewing Cozy Bavarian. Might be able to find it like on gopuff.com and any other websites that you see out there. You can read all about like on beeradvocate.com, those kind of places. And again, I'm not getting any money from those websites or from Three Nations Brewing. But I don't know about you, but I'm tired of talking about the beer. I want to drink it. So here we go. Sweet. Yeah, it's hard not to take a long tug off that. Again, keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. All right. But yeah, that's a pretty good beer there. It's kind of like a dessert beer, but I don't want to make it sound, when I say dessert beer, like it's drinking birthday cake or something like that. It's not that. It's still light enough to where you don't feel like you're just chugging a bottle of Aunt Jemima or something like that. So, but yeah, check it out. So Cozy Bavarian, I would recommend it. Goes great when you're watching a movie. All right. Okay. Hey, let's get right back into it. Another thing that drove me nuts in this movie is when you think that a potential victim, a character in this movie, has the upper hand on Ghostface. And Ghostface is down in the ground or in some kind of prone, vulnerable position, about to get whacked, by the character. And so the character, in issuing the final death blow, they like raise their arms way up in the air, exposing all this area. and then wonder why, when they had their arms raised up in this area up here, way up above their head, why Ghostface was able to just do this and stab them and get the upper hand all over again. And they raise their arms up here, and they keep them up here. I don't know why they're up there that long. And then they, like, say some stupid phrase like, get ready, you're about to go down, or something like that before they stab them. And really, can we stop doing that? It is so idiotic. And it strains the credibility, and it just makes the audience think that the filmmakers think they're stupid. Okay, so let's stop doing that. Okay. Also, let's be real here. If all the characters in these Scream movies had guns, this thing would be an Instagram reel, not a movie. Okay. Those characters would paint the walls in Ghostface blood if they all had guns, because they would fill him with multiple mags of 2,400 feet per second justice.
Like a boss.
Okay, so this wouldn't even be a movie. It'd be like a last like a 90 seconds, and that'd be it. Ghostface would be done for. Okay, well. I should preface that with saying, or I should add on that, as long as you don't use your gun like Courtney Cox's character Gale Weathers does in this movie, okay? Lady, you're in a locked room and you're well armed, and this room only has one entrance. Don't leave that room just to let Ghostface kill you. You have the upper hand, you idiot. Stay in the room, moron. There is plot armor for some characters in this movie like you wouldn't believe. I mean, the magical way that some characters survive their wounds is moronic in this. Okay, you've got one character that gets stabbed like 2 or 3 times and they die, and then you also have another character much later on in the movie where they get stabbed in every vital organ in alphabetical order multiple times, okay? And then later on, you see the guy, and he's like, hey, I'm fine, I'm cool, hey, everybody, hey, just a flesh wound, okay? Just a minor flesh wound, everyone. I'm right as rain. Yes, I'm just fine. Like, dude, you got stabbed, like, in every inch of your body from what we saw, and now you're just like, yeah, okay. Now, I exaggerate a little bit, but the point still stands. Like, this character getting stabbed that many times would not make it. And again, I know it's a movie, it's make-believe, but you can only push that so far in that, okay? And, what I would suggest to anybody who's thinking about making a horror movie is, if you want to make a horror movie in the future that stands out from the rest, okay, make a horror movie where anybody can die. Anybody. I don't care what the name is at the top of the movie poster, okay? Anybody can die in this movie, because, and make it like, kind of like, remember Game of Thrones, season 1 Game of Thrones? The way that they had that season, work, anybody could die. Anybody in Game of Thrones. And it got you to the point where, for most of the rest of the series, you were like, oh my God, I don't know. I like, God, I don't want to get attached to this character, because I don't know. They could be dispatched at any second. Like, they could be like getting their throat slit or a head cut off or get burned alive or something like that. Like, so I'm going to like try to be emotionally detached from this character, because you just didn't know who was going to buy the farm, right? Who was going to kick it in the Game of Thrones series. And so in order to do that, or, if you have a horror movie where anybody can get killed, it elevates the tension, people. It elevates the tension, and it skyrockets the stakes, okay? It makes your killer that much more menacing and terrifying. It's not rocket science. Look at you. Look at you. You're still here. You're still watching or listening to this Movies Merica episode. Man, You guys are the greatest. You guys are the greatest. Okay, that is not hyperbole. All right, and so I'm going to ask you for just one more or two, three, four, like 5 more things. Okay, okay. So first thing, if you would like this video, that would be fantabulous. Okay, and then if you would subscribe to this channel. And then also, if you would hit that notification bell to get updated when a new Movies Merica episode comes on out, all right? And then also get in the comments, like I said before, reach out to me. I love hearing from you, okay? Because, like, when I watch a video, YouTube, Rumble, whatever, that I like getting the comments and letting them know, like, hey, I liked what you said here, or, oh, you had the wrong take there, or, hey, you know what, I just noticed something you could do a little bit better, or something. I like getting in there and establishing those lines of communication, okay? And also, if you're listening to me, if you're just listening to me on like Apple Podcast or Google Podcasts, give me a 5-star rating if you would. That'd be fantastic, okay? That's only if you want to give me a 5-star rating, all right? It's if you don't think I deserve it, don't do that, because we're all here. We're all about total honesty here at Movies Merica Incorporated, okay? And also check me out on the socials, okay? Check me out on all social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook under Movies Merica, of course. All right? And also, okay, I would be remiss if I didn't mention it again. So go to tdpn.locals.com. Again, that's TDPN, so as in Till Death Podcast Network, .locals.com. And if you put in promo code TDPN, you get a free month. And you can join for as little as $3 a month, okay? So what is that? Like not even like a price of a thimble of coffee a day or something like that. Very cheap, very cheap. Even I would go for that, and I'm a big cheapskate. The character of Chad, played by again Mason Gooding, who is Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, there again, coins the term Core 4 for the 4 main characters in Scream 6. So that would be Sam, Tara, himself, and then his twin sister, Mindy. And I would have to respectfully disagree with old Chad here. I would actually go with the dynamic or the deadly duo or the cool 2, because Sam and Tara are likable enough, but Chad and Mindy, I just don't really care about what happens to those characters whatsoever. There's not really much to them, and because they just don't emote, or their personalities are just stereotypical, just just in a category that we've seen a bunch of times before. They're just basic and boring, okay? And also on top of that, Mindy, she tries and fails to be the new Randy. But they forgot what made Randy, okay? He incorporated some geek in with his, funny, and so it made him endearing and personable, and you liked Randy. You kind of related to him. He's kind of a geek and all that, but he also knows his stuff, and he's funny when he's funny. I mean, just go back to the very first Scream movie where, he's like, hey, you know what? And most importantly, whatever you do, don't ever say, I'll be right back. That whole scene in the original Scream that he does. And Mindy just can't pull that off because she's just too militant and pseudo cool to pull that off, even though they try to have her do the monologue Randy style, explaining the stakes and the plot and who can die and who won't and that kind of thing, trying to get down to the bottom of who's Ghostface. And Mindy just can't pull it off because, she's just too militant, just too angry, trying to be cool, incorporate a little humility and bring out your inner geek. And you're in turn going to be funny, and you're going to live up to the legacy that is good old Randy from the original Scream movies, Jamie Kennedy. All right? And you'll have the quirky charm that Randy had. Okay. So as you can tell from what I've said here, Scream 6, you don't have to rush out to the theater to go see this, okay? It's got some entertainment value to it, but it's not worth, gassing up the old DeLorean and putting it in the drive and speeding to the theater to go see Scream 6. This one, you could stream it. You'd be perfectly fine waiting on that. But, so yeah, that's my take on Scream 6. But again, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get in the comments there. And also, again, just another friendly reminder, old tdpn.locals.com is out there. And you put in TDPN for the promo code to get it 1 free month out there as well. Okay. So, with that, everybody, as I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. Take her easy.
Hey, guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here, too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm going to be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.